The biggest Brawl Stars video just came out and the lore is back. Well, before starting this video, I have a cold, so if I sound nasal, I'm sorry. See, during the Brawl talk, it's going to be horrible. I hope it only lasts 2 days. At first, I didn't want to make a news video, but given the video that just came out, we have to talk about it. And especially while there are all the questionnaires, etc., we need to talk about it. And honestly, there are so many things happening right now, and it's really great. This is really everything I was asking for. Lore in Brawl Stars, new features, the game is getting a fresh start, there's a huge hype building up, it's awesome. Of course, we're going to talk about all of that in this video. So, as usual, don't forget the likes, comments, subscriptions, and the Periado code. Anyway, all that stuff, you know the drill by now. I just want to wish you a good viewing. Let's go! So here we are on the Brawl Stars account. You can see this famous video. We're going to go through everything from A to Z, of course, but before that, we're going to talk about other things because there are plenty of interesting things. Before discussing what interests us, let's briefly talk about these famous challenges. I saw this comment, which is interesting given how many votes the correct answers for Amber and Angelo got and the happiness achieved. To get the best answer of the day, the correct answer must receive 67% of the community's votes. That means there are a lot of people voting at random. You're going to say, yes, Periado, with your votes, we always get the middle reward, 1,000 power points. How does that happen? Just know I always give you the right answers. Unfortunately, the problem is that you need 67%. For example, with Angelo, let's take the most recent example. I told you to pick that one, so that's the correct answer. Unfortunately, there you go, it's 57%, and so it stayed here. You need to have 67% for it to reach 2,000 points, which is the biggest reward. The answer was correct, but there just weren't enough people who voted for it, and some voted. 29th, at what point? Is saying you look like the 29th a compliment? That's lame, it's a rare skin. I don't get why people voted for that or the cake. That's wrong, you shouldn't have voted that way, you had to vote. Like I said, we didn't get enough votes. That's why we only have 1,000 power points, we need to coordinate better. The first vote, well, at a stretch, it's the very first one. A lot of people don't understand, but please, I know that all over the world, the French probably listen more than others, I imagine. Some people don't use social media, so it's complicated. Please, those watching the videos, keep that in mind. You need 67% correct answers, making the next votes complicated unless Brawl Stars changes the system. Anyway, let's move on, but now you understand how it works. We also had another little thing. Get ready for your appointment with Rosa tomorrow with Odysquick. Basically, you can buy it now, Rosa. That's the appointment we have right now. I'll let you go check it out. I made a short about what you should answer, and I'll tell you the community question. At the end, like every time, don't forget last time, in the last update video, we saw that there was a 6th date, and that's what interests us. We discussed that the 6th date would appear on the 25th, and that the update was on the 24th. There was something notable about it. The Brawl Talk on the 21st, which is in 2 days, Brawl Stars actually posted this. Today is the 19th, the new Legends of Sirius. La première étoile de Star Park. Alors, there are even quite a few little theories, you know, in that famous video where we see all the things, etc., where people tell me Sirius is the name of the brightest star. Listen, when we check this information, it's true you made a lot of theories, etc., and it's really cool because it helps us move forward. So his name comes from the brightest star in the sky. And it doesn't end there because you see, we can see that it starts like a kind of star, you know? Anyway, you get it. It starts with that. Now let's watch the video with the very important translations because that's what's going to be important for us. And then we'll comment on all of that. A long time ago, there lived a true star at Star Park, me, Sirius, the greatest of all artists. First of all, the first thing we can see is what he looks like. We quickly see his face, etc. And honestly, when we see the character like that, it's totally fine. On Brawl Stars, you get it with the graphics and everything. It was kind of like an archive, but the main attraction was the play of shadow and light. By the way, I might pause a lot. Sorry if that's annoying. Okay, he's miming a rabbit, but does this rabbit maybe have something to do with his attack, his ultimate, and so on? It's possible. Be careful then. We can see him once again, he tells us. Then the gems arrived, the park was changed forever, and my show was forgotten forever. Brawl, brawl, brawl. Everyone was only thinking about that, but I had an idea thanks to the power of the gems. I was going to create the best show in the world and get my park back. So the video is, to sum up quickly actually, with everything we said before, thanks to the audios, the images, the newspapers, etc. We weren't that far off. Sirius was a huge star at the time, and it's because of the gems, so he's not the one who controlled his brawlers, he's not the real villain of the story either. That also means, and I'm really happy about this, that the lore of Brawl Stars is far from over. Also, since the root of the problems, the gems, etc., it's not Sirius who caused it. Sirius basically is a good person. And because of the gems, everyone changed. You can see Dynamic's face, you can see that he's evil. At that moment, because of the gems, everyone changed. You can see Spike, Colt, Dynamic, and Shelly. By the way, who has Sirius's haircut? All the attractions in this park were better with those gems, so Sirius was forgotten. Lacking buzz, he envied everyone. By the way, you can see Lille, he actually ran off to Lille. At that moment, he had to find a solution to get some buzz and come back to that island. And that's how he used the power of the gems to put on his show. So yes, he looks like a major villain, but he's not the biggest. He just used those gems. If you get what I mean, the lore of Brawl Stars, we're barely at the start. And he's not the main villain of the story. No, it's the one who created the gems. And for now, all we know is that those gems were found in Dynamike's mine. First, Jackie, Carl, and Dynamike were transformed. Then the others followed gradually. We still don't know how it all began, especially since the island was originally cursed. We're learning more about the story, but the whole truth remains unknown. Now, if we look at the event we have from the start, we have Amber. We know she's like that. You see, we have all her pretty interesting reactions. What interests us most is her shadow. We have Rosa as well. We also have her shadow. We have Angelo too. We also have his shadow and all his other reactions. We're still missing 2 brawlers whose shadows are missing, and so are their reactions. And like I said in a short, that really made me snap. After that, that's the video. So brawler date, you'll finally be able to go out with a brawler. And it's mainly 10 days, 5 dates, and only 1 soulmate. Look closely. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is that question mark there? Let's say it's the 6th one. You see, okay, we have 5 dates, but a 6th thing like that. And the most interesting part, we have only 1 soulmate. Okay, and look at this. All the question marks will go exactly to the question mark that's all alone. It's like we have 5 dates, and for this one, we don't know the person, and it all comes back to this question mark. It's as if Sirius controls the 5 dates, so everything leads back to Sirius. You get the idea, and this is where it gets even more interesting. Your wildest dreams, fantasies, and fears all come true. Okay, when you go on a date, you're not supposed to be that scared, especially not to make it happen. That's where it gets interesting. It brings us back to the aspect of fear and so on. Sirius isn't really involved. We're getting off track, but it's interesting. There are other fascinating things too. We'll leave Sirius for now and return to it later. Don't worry. Brawl Stars Korea announced a special extension to the Brawl Talk for Korean players, which means they're going to have a special Brawl Talk. Okay, it will have the same features and updates as Brawl Stars, but there may be something extra or a slight difference. We're not sure yet. It will be released on February 23rd, which is 2 days after our Brawl Talk, so the Brawl Talk that everyone has around the world except in China, and it will contain more information. If we look at the video, well, it's only 30 seconds long, but it's super interesting, because as a result, they have some things that we don't. And it's the same Brawl, so that means Brawl Stars can do things for different regions. Things for us too. I don't know if you can imagine, but right now, we have an update that's kind of just for Korea. Well, there will be something for us too, don't worry. But we could have, why not, something for France too, a special extension, that could be cool. I can't wait to see what they get. Everything looks promising, especially with this. There are blinks, gems, brawl pass, come leave, who knows if they're connected. Here's the same situation, we're unsure, but there are some interesting things. So what's happening in the Brawl Talk? We know the Sugar Rush is confirmed, it was mentioned during Time to Explain. We're also certain about the new trophy system. A collaboration itself, well, we don't know. It hasn't been confirmed to us, but it also hasn't been said that there isn't a collaboration. There could be a collaboration. Now, I don't think it's for Sirius because the event is big enough for a collaboration. But why not for the 101st Brawler? They could do something, an event. And I admit it's been a long time since we've had a collab, by the way. A new Brawl Pass, yes, indeed. The ranked season is coming to an end. Well, it just started, but in a month it will end. And that also means a new Brawl Pass. So we'll find out the next skin we'll have for 4 months and also all the other rewards, etc. The 101st Brawler, same thing, we're sure and certain. We know it belongs to the Funk Trio. Again, the Funk Trio hasn't been confirmed, but judging by the box, we can guess. We'll show later a little concept that could fit into this 101st Trio. With this box, the 100th Brawler, Sirius. Well, I think we're sure. And some people, when we saw this afterwards, be careful, we still don't know for sure if it's this Brawler. Maybe they'll do something else, you never know. But yeah, I don't think it's anything else. The new prestige on the Brawlers, yes, there's something new. Prestiges are going away. Don't forget to rush. I made a video just for that. We're going to have new prestiges. That's related to the new trophy system, and I can't wait to see it. Just like the new matchmaking, it's also a bit related to the new titles. The titles will stay. Be careful, they're not going to be replaced, but we're going to have new titles that will be linked to these new prestiges. I can't wait to see. I'm pretty sure we'll have some events too. Easter is almost certain, since we'll have the March and April update, so all of April too, so Easter will be included in that on April 1st. So you see, some troll skins, there's a good chance of that too, some skins. As for Ramadan, it's not impossible that there could be an event as well. Women's Day, well, we had a spray and a challenge once, so why not? That's possible too. Finally, for the ranked quest, he marked it as 100% confirmed. Well, not at all. It's about the upcoming updates, the next Brawl Talks. There won't be an update about the ranked quest. That's completely false. It was said in the time to explain. This post is a bit wrong, but at least we're recapping all of this. However, yes, the update about the ranked quest will be coming soon. They're working on it simultaneously, but we can't get everything in this update. That's too much, especially with other additions. Don't forget, new buffs are coming too. We can expect 6. Balancing and possibly new hypercharges are also very likely. Yeah, not all brawlers have hypercharges, Clover, Pierce, etc. Even the new brawlers, will they come out with hypercharges? We don't know yet. When we were talking a bit about ranked quests, the brawlers that are maxed out. Remember, Rush C is your last chance to rush the ranked quest before a new one starts. Make sure to finish the Pro Pass. We have Squeak, Kit, and Shade who are maxed out, and the Star Force skins are also back. There are still some really good discounts. You can see Spike at 50% off, same for Colette, 25% off on Nita, and Grey is also on sale. In short, there are quite a few things. Remember to use code Periado when getting these items, or they'll return next year. For those interested, be cautious. We should also discuss this in interviews. Each time we have a little link to go to the video. YouTube, it's a YouTube video that's unlisted. No need to show it to you. It's just the gossip, etc. It's what I already had you listen to back then. It's interesting how they hide Easter eggs like that. It's the same with Rosa. I didn't include it in the short, but it's the same video, and the dialogues always have a few Easter eggs. For example, we learned that Rosa created Wally. We already knew that, but she created Wally with the goal of hacking the security systems of Star Park, and that we didn't know, which shows that Rosa was already against the Star Park system and all the chaos surrounding it. Clover's full can art was revealed. What do you think about that? That's how Clover was imagined and how he was designed. You can see there was his shell, Clover's human form, you can see what he looks like with his old flippers, etc. Pretty funny. And then after that, we have all the images of the Brawler, etc. It's interesting to see his reactions and how he was modeled. Leaked Brawler photo. Hearing Sirius was back made me laugh, since Gale clearly knew him and all the trouble he caused. Gale's one of the oldest, and a Mike too. It's all because of him. It was the very first attraction to appear on Star Park after Sirius. It's because of him that Sirius wants revenge, and Gus, well, he was one of Sirius's first victims with his balloon. Honestly, it really made me laugh. My prediction about where Sirius could go as a trio? Well, I actually have 3 guesses, and I've already told you about them. The Weird Circus, indeed, it was simply in a circus, so it's very likely. The Star Hub is about the Star Park universe, among other things. But I think that given the video we got, it's not him. He has nothing to do with Star Park. He was kicked out by Star Park. It's not a security issue or anything. Lately, I see him less in this trio, but nothing is certain. Once again, a new trio is very likely, and I would even add another trio. For me, the illusion obviously is a guy who's doing illusions with shadows, so that could also fit in that trio. For me, these are the 3 most likely trios. Then there are trios that are complete, so obviously it won't fit in there. Some trios that aren't possible. Honestly, same. I don't really believe in it, except for illusion. Honestly, for me, it's pretty likely. For me, it's like a new trio. Hey, I would just put Star Park Hub, that's all. The memory doll, I think, why not? Because they're dolls. And actually, Sirius controls, as we know, kind of like puppets, the shadows, so it could have a little connection, maybe a bit less, but still, it could have a little connection. The other 2, honestly, not at all. Let's acknowledge that Startoon with Kit has been open for a long time. There's still no Brawler included. Since the 5th Brawler will be added to Pyramid Quest, that trio will also be partially complete. That's your trio update.
Il faut le dire, hein, Bizarre Circus, ça fait très longtemps qu'il est ouvert.
For a long time, I've tried to imagine what Kit's new Brawler could look like. It was made by Shamil. Honestly, it's really not bad at all. You can see, you know, it looks like the pyramid. I think it's Khufu, something like that in Egypt. It's really not bad. What I like now, the little thing that catches my attention is that famous thing there. On the box, it looks like a snake. So, yeah, it could be for a helmet or maybe, you know, a belt, something like that, a decorative element. It could definitely be a snake, but I really like the design. Now we know what it looks like. Honestly, the Brawler looks really cool. I hope we won't be disappointed when we see him in real life, but just looking at him like this, he looks really awesome. If the Brawler looks cool with a cape and moves in a badass way, I'm a huge fan. He could be one of my favorites. I'm eager to learn his role, sniper or thrower. Probably not a sniper since we just got Pierce, and not a thrower since we recently had Ziggy. Assassin, I doubt it. In my opinion, he'll probably be more of a raw damage type, so it's going to be mid-range, something like that. And obviously, I think he'll be an ultra legendary. Rostar told us they'd release 1 ultra legendary per year. Well, if they don't do it now, I don't get it. A concept for claw buffers, but it works perfectly. Gadget, hypercharge, power, everything fits well. Little pigs like that, we know claws are like pincers, it's perfect. I don't see what more he could do. It's spot on, it's incredible. Pick up a coin, a gold, so each time you can get a power point, a gold, a blink. I'm thinking even, you see, with the shadows, every time I try to summon everything on purpose, the shadows, the coins, everything, take every possible path. If we've collected everything, maybe there's a reward at the end. Nothing special. We've summoned all the nails, maybe even Sirius, so help might come, but I doubt it. Be careful. With Brawl Star, you never know. You see, it's a bit like when we had to collect 10 coins in the shop, and each time you had to keep clicking over and over. I'm thinking maybe you have to follow specific paths, and in the end, when we've done everything right, maybe we'll get something. It might just be a random theory, but with Brawl Star, anything's possible. That's why I think you never know. You might even have to summon them someday. I hope you enjoyed the video and are excited by all these theories. They're incredible. I'm more hyped than I've been in a long time, Brawl Star. So with that, I'll just say see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching this video. As always, this was Periado. What do I have to say about the Brawl talk? Oh man. Maybe see you tomorrow if there are more clues or anything. I don't know, but in any case, we'll see each other again soon.